All right, so they already missed. Given there's my. What's up, dude?
Yo, what up?
Live. So they already missed putting Auburn at the number one overall seed. You're in the same bracket. Louisville got an 8 seed. Oh, disrespectful. Oh my
Brother.
god.
And the crazy part
Hey,
is, right? Like the crazy part is we've beaten Clemson twice this year, and I guarantee you they're gonna put Clemson up there at like a 5 seed just because they got a win over Kentucky. That's it. It was just wild to me. It's absolutely
yeah.
wild to me. Like the disrespect is getting kind of crazy.
Which just goes to show you that again, the conference tournament, like conference championship games or the tournaments, they just don't matter.
doesn't
Like
mean doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything,
they already
apparently.
had their minds made up when we
Why
got the
even play?
background dropping. Yeah, which is I think the argument. You had dudes sit out. Um, for you, Rainwater didn't play last night, so like your
Yeah.
elite shooter isn't there.
Yeah, I did. I'm all right with that, to be honest with you. And honestly, if we're just being objective, we should have been able to win that game without him. But
Yeah, you got to
we
win that. Cooper Flag's
but I
not playing.
do
You got to win that game.
yeah. I mean, and we talked about it yesterday, man. It just came down to we were playing a style of offense that has not won us 20 of the last 22 games. We just decided all of a sudden we were going to run the ball through Terrence, and I get it. Like Terrence was going off. He's having a great game.
Yeah,
But at the same time, like Chucky is the floor general. You got to let him run the show. You don't let him run the show, stuff like that happens because Terrence is not a true point guard. Like he's going to get a bucket for himself, but he's not going to help anybody else out as far as getting them open. So I don't know, man. It's highly frustrating, but here we are.
yep. And we were talking in the group chat has been more vile than usual. Normally, it's
Yeah,
been civil. It was getting in
it's
there.
dude.
Like, oh, let's go in there.
It's man, I'm telling you,
It's
it's because
tournament time.
it's tournament time. We're done with it. We're done with the being nice anymore. Now it really
Hmm.
matters.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. But yeah,
All right, so,
at the end of the day, we got. Whoa, my computer's freaking out. All right, we're back. At the end of the day, I know we got bounced early and we got beat down, but the result was the same. No conference
yeah.
title, and y'all had extra miles on those wheels now.
Dude, I don't know. I truly don't understand it. Uh, I mean,
But an 8 seed
I
is wild.
don't. I get.
I thought
Yeah.
you were gonna get a 5 seed. Was my prediction.
I,
I
thi-
said five.
I,
8
I
seems
was
crazy.
kind of like. I think we would have. I think had we beat Duke, I was thinking like a 5 seed, but I think a 6 seed is probably just based. I mean, and like it's like we've been talking about all year. ACC's in a down year, right? Like we have been beating the teams that we're supposed to beat. But we had an opportunity yesterday, especially against a Duke team not at full strength, to get somewhat of. I mean, it'll be cheapened by the fact that Cooper wasn't there, but it still would have been a signature win, just because they've got a great team regardless. But you don't win
That's
you
the
don't win.
no one
We
goes
don't have
back
any
and
big
looks at it.
wins. Yeah, we don't have any big wins to put on the resume is the problem. So, like, while I don't understand it, I also can't be too mad about it because, I mean, although I can though, because 25 plus wins and an 8 seed, like, are we being serious right now? But
And
yeah,
Creighton is not a team like if you see Creighton in your bracket, you just don't feel good
yeah,
just because of their kind of history and how they do things.
Creighton's, yeah,
Um,
they are very streaky, but
but
they can be a
Ole Miss got
problem
a
for
six
sure.
seed. Yeah, and I missed it. I didn't even pay attention to your location. It's South region. I guess are you in Cleveland or are you in Milwaukee?
South region, I
I
thought,
missed it.
I don't know. I'm trying to
The
get
two
this. The
places I
problem
said
is
showing
right
on the
now.
screen are Cleveland. If y'all are, if it's Cleveland, you guys are going to have a pack. That place is gonna be packed. It's going to be all Louisville fans.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna travel. They're gonna travel, dude. It's that's never a question.
They're going to travel to Milwaukee.
I mean they'll still travel, dude. Y'all would travel if you were in Milwaukee.
I mean, well, that's because it's Big Blue Nation, and y'all
Oh
couldn't
my
even fill out
goodness,
your
you
arena.
act like
You had Pat Kelsey
that's
going around the
false.
student like.
That's false.
It's,
Now you're telling
I
lies
think
again.
that's actually packed. I
That's
think it's true.
That's not facts, but that's all right.
Where did see we were BSing Jacob? Where did Jacob's in the chat? Where did UNC? What was their
I
seed?
don't know.
I got.
He said, "Oh, he said they're in Lexington." Yo, UNC, you're right, Jacob, man. UNC getting in is wild to me as well. Because like by that logic, if you're gonna allow a UNC team in that has had I don't care if it's a play-in, it's still wild.
Yeah,
They should they
yeah,
they based off their body of work do not deserve to be in the NCAA tournament. And they have now taken a bid from somebody who probably does, which I'd imagine is probably one of these like lower end SEC teams. Like that might be one that keeps y'all from getting 14 in. But
yeah.
which is
Texas.
yeah, like a Texas, right? Which like objectively, if you look at a Texas team that has had some legitimate big wins this year, uh, it's wild. Oh yeah, you're right. And IU, well, I do again. IU's another case of like everybody thought they were going to be great early, and then they took that 20-point L to us in the Bahamas, and then kind of slid off the face of the earth for a while. They pulled it back together at the end of the season, but I don't know. UNC getting in. If you're going to let UNC in, and you're still going to give us a 8 seed based off of conference strength, like you're kind of talking out of both sides of your mouth right there with that. But
Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense. Is y'all didn't have a competitive schedule, but you won all the games. They didn't have a
right,
competitive schedule, and they lost all the games. Like it's
right, yeah,
even the
right,
easy game they lost. So it's
yeah, yeah. I don't
did
I
they
don't
lose to
understand the
Stanford
logic
at
behind.
home?
I think so. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you
That
what,
should
though.
just disqualify you.
Yeah, Rayno, dude, that kid, he's gonna be good at the next level. That dude is a
Yeah,
walking double double. Uh, I'm trying to get this daggone computer to work because you know how it is, hotel internet, uh, and I'm in Germany, so I can't. There's no ESPN on the TV in here, so
I was going to
I'm,
ask you. I didn't know if does Germany have an ESPN equivalent? I don't even know.
nah, man. I had to
What
trick
time is
my
it there, by
phone.
the way?
It is right now. It is 11:11 p.m.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. So
Dedicated.
yeah, where's T at? What's T doing right now?
He's battling his own battle right now at the birthday party.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot he said he had to do that today. Yeah.
Yeah, his son's birthday party. But hopefully he can jump on here. But that's
I
just
don't.
that's piss poor planning.
Yeah.
Not only I get it's his son's birthday, but it's the conference championship game and it's the right. You got to change the date. I think for that one.
Brother. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That just tells you he wasn't counting on being in the conference championship.
maybe so. Or he just knew he was going to get routed by Florida, which you know
He
how he feels about
needed
Florida. So
yeah, need an excuse
why
not to
is
watch the
Hunter
game.
Dickerson on my TV? The fact that he's still getting paid
Dude, the kid.
to read
Oh
a
my
college
God,
athlete
man.
is insane.
What a waste. That guy.
The
He's
best
like
thing Cal did before he
he
left was jack up that price for Kansas to pay for that clown.
yeah, he's like daggum Baker Mazzara. They've been in college since we were in college somehow and still playing basketball. Dude,
So
I
Deputy
don't
304 thinks UK is going to get hosed. I don't. I think we're a
I
three
don't think
seed,
so.
man. We're a three seed locked in.
I think
Duke.
yeah, and
Okay,
I
so
think it's been
Duke gets to play in Raleigh. Oh my goodness.
yeah. You better hope you don't get in that friggin' bracket right there. That'd be something else.
We beat them once.
Yeah, you're right. You did, but you were healthy then. And you're not healthy
Hey,
now.
Lamont. I don't know. You've been gone, but Lamont's back. So apparently Lamont is going to play in tournament.
Yeah, but how many times? Like, obviously, I don't know, man. That shoulder brace doesn't seem like it's doing anything for him. He gets breathed
So
on, and the thing is like,
here's
you
my
know,
here's my theory. I think they were like, listen, any sort of like anything at all, we're sitting you down.
yeah,
Like you feel a little bit uncomfortable, you're like boom, because
maybe,
the rumor mill is he wanted to get back in the game, and Pope was like, nah, not happening, and which
yeah,
makes sense because Jackson, I don't want to say he got forced in, but like he wanted to play as he was going back on Oklahoma, and that was the game. Now he's out for the season, so it makes sense where he's like, I'm not taking that risk again, which I'm good with it. Who cares? I don't need
yeah,
an SEC banner. We got plenty of those.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think. I think UK is probably locked in. I think worst. worst case, you might end up being like the top 4 seed. But I think a 3 seed is realistic just based off of the tier 1 wins. So,
Yeah.
and dude, I mean, it's just the SEC was a bloodbath this year. So I don't know, man. You think they're gonna get 14 in or no? You think Texas is gonna slide in there?
Maybe the play in. We'll see. I'm really curious to see where Arkansas goes, to be honest, because they have some big wins, and they kind of rallied late, but then they had some bad losses too. I'm curious to see where they go. But I don't know much about the rest of the conferences. Like BYU as a 6 seed seems right. They had some big wins. What's going up on there now? But they're in the East region. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking we got 12 in was my guess. Is 12 would get in just because 14 seemed kind of ridiculous, and the North Carolinas, those sort of schools that they're going to want to get in just because of legacy and money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's that plays into it. They need the fans out there watching the games and buying the tickets and stuff. But yeah, I think that's just ridiculous that they're in. They did literally nothing to earn a spot, and they beat friggin' Wake Forest in the conference tournament, man, and then lost to Duke. Like, what are we
had an opportunity to beat Duke, and you didn't get it done. Like, no Cooper flag, you have it late, you fold. It's like that was your chance.
Yeah.
But I mean, I swear, by like outside, I think they might have to do like 1 and 2 kind of changes if there's a weird conference champion that messes up a bracket. But I swear they have these things in by Friday, anyways. Like it
seems that way.
Like they in all honesty, if Louisville was an 8 seed, they had their mind up that Louisville was an 8 seed no matter what.
Yeah, which is it just again bananas to me. But like, I don't know, man. You can't
Alabama's
make it make
a 2
sense.
seed. I think that's the right call there.
Yeah.
Florida should be the next 1 seed.
Yeah.
Robert Morris.
Robert Morris is the 15 seed.
Mm-hmm. That's a 30-point
man,
game.
I'm looking at this bracket for Louisville. That is a tough friggin' bracket too, man. That is.
Listen, I want bracket. I want no part of St. John's. I want no part of Houston. If I can just stay away from that, it looks like we're going to get one of them, unless they're on the same side of the bracket.
Yeah, Ricky P is dude. He's got those boys playing, man. Sheesh.
Yeah.
And that Marquette game the other day was looking kind of close for a while, and then they just blew him out at the end of the game. Like, I mean, which is standard, right? Like they wear you down on the defensive end of the ball, and they just get you gassed, and then at the end, it's just like one of those big like 8-9-0 runs, and just break the soul, and then the next thing you know, you're losing by 15, 16 points. It's just old school Rick Pitino coached basketball.
Well, I'm pretty sure with Seth Greenberg, and there's not much that Seth Greenberg says that I agree with, but he was like, St. John's almost cheats the way that they play the game because they're so physical. The refs don't want to call every single thing, but it's like they're not going to foul everybody out. So we're just going to out physical you and change the calculus of like the refs blowing whistles. So like we were talking about how rough the SEC was, and how rough the SEC tournament was. And he's like, I'm just going to toughen this league up. If you're not ready to play, then you're going to lose against us, and that's what happened. Sometimes a lot of teams lost against them.
Yeah, Jacob, are you saying you agree with Wisconsin as a 3 seed, or are you saying they're just absolutely playing with the people in that bracket by making them a 3 seed? Because I mean, obviously I was trying to. Tyler made the comment to me the other day. She's like, "Is Wisconsin good at basketball?" And I was like, "Have you watched college basketball over like the course of the last 20 years?"
I'll hate them forever. That missed shot clock violation ruined a perfect season for Kentucky. So I will always hate them.
Yeah.
Speaking of hate, Jackson was looking at me all funny yesterday. Well, he was supposed to come on the show, Tyson's over here
Yeah.
now, so he left me like he's like, I got no
he
time for you, bub.
dropped
Yeah.
you like a bad habit over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tyson showed up and he was like, yeah, I'm done. But he was like confused. Why are you cheering for Duke? I was like, listen, buddy, I know it's confusing, but the Duke winning is much. It's a much better take than Louisville winning. Louisville losing is what we need to feel good moving forward. So
You just couldn't come on. You couldn't come on this live show if we ended up winning that tournament. Is what it was. You weren't never going to.
The worst case scenario was Tennessee and Louisville winning their conference, and I was just like, yeah. Let's go ahead and cancel let's cancel this whole idea.
That friggin' 8-9 into a potential game against Auburn, dude. Like, like that's a tough draw right there. Like, God dang, that is a tough draw. You know, I don't even know. I don't even know how we. I mean, Creighton, obviously, that's a tough first game. You never want to be an 8-9 seed. That's just not a place you want to be. That 8-9, 7-10, like that's just not. You're not getting good matchups in the first week of the tournament, sitting around there. And then, dude, to like win that, and I don't even know how we match up with Auburn. To be honest with you, like I think the biggest thing that kind of got exposed with us with the Clemson game and with Duke was. I forget the name of the big Russian dude from Clemson, the big 7-footer they got. But I mean, he was just pushing James Scott around like a rag doll in the post. Like, I mean, and then Duke was doing the same thing last night. They just plugged up the lane. That concerns me, having to go in and play Auburn with
maybe. But Janai Broome is too hype, man. Like he's soft, dude. I'm not like. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's I hate Bruce Pearl, so maybe that's just like it's bleeding over to Janai Broome. But like I don't know. That's why now the take of Kentucky winning was wildly off. But my take of like Amar Williams is going to put Janai Broome like in a closet was accurate. Janai had the worst game of the season, but I mean, you got to find some way. Like Louisville's problem is you are Chucky and you are Edwards, and if those two don't ball, then
Dude, we've had 4 dudes drop 30 this year. Hadley dropped 30 against Clemson earlier in the year, and then I forget what game Rain just absolutely went ridiculous. Scored hit 10 threes. So I mean, I think that we are at our best when you got Chucky at the point and he plays inside out, and then all it takes is for one of those dudes to get hot from outside, and then it opens up the lane, and then he can start working that 2-man game with Scott. But when we don't get that going, you get what you got last night, where it's just, Chucky's getting kind of hemmed up, and then you got Terrence trying to just, drop 40, which he's a great player, but he's not going to do that for you. And the offense is not efficient that way. And then all it took was Proctor to hit a couple of those big threes to kind of put some space in there. And I was like, you just feel the air go out of him after that. So I think having Rain back, hopefully getting him back healthy to give us somebody else that can kind of space out the floor is going to be huge. So I'm hoping that ankle gets better, but it looked pretty bad. I mean, it was a high ankle sprain, so you never know how long that's going to take to get back. Jacob, man, I know it kind of seems like we're taking a while to respond. Like I am reading this, but me and Kyle like to sit here and listen to each other talk. So
that's why I just put in the chat. I said because we don't know what we're doing. We have no idea what we're doing.
If you were expecting a professional podcast, you have come to the wrong place.
Jacob knows better. Yeah, Jacob. We go way back from the start of the Bleed Blue stuff. So he knows. I don't know.
No, the delay is not massive. Our inability to conduct a live show is just that poor. That is what you're saying.
Yeah. Georgia in at 8-9, Gonzaga, Georgia. That's going to be a good game. Yeah. I like that game. Clemson at a 5 seed. You were right. Oh my God, you should be so pissed.
Like
you should be so pissed.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. We finished with a better. We
It doesn't
finished
make
with
any
the
sense,
same
but I love the
exact
hell out of it.
dude. We missed the same exact conference record. The only difference in the two schedules is the fact that they have wins over Duke and Kentucky, and we don't. But we beat them twice. But somehow that earns them 3 seeds higher than us in a bracket. I just like you cannot convince me that that is rational.
What was the standings in the ACC when it racked up? Were you over them or were they over you in the
We were
regular
over them because we had the head to head. So we were 18 and 2. Yeah, whatever, Jacob. I know you do. Yeah, I know. It's fine. Kyle's got to sit here and
Yeah.
listen to me complain about this nonsense week in and week out, so he doesn't
Yeah.
care either. It's fine. I know
I
I'm
know.
talking to the wall.
Hey, so what are the chances that Kentucky puts on blue and shows up in Lexington and cheers for Creighton in that matchup?
Nah, dude, they're gonna be too worried about traveling to go see y'all. It ain't gonna happen.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, they ain't worried. They're not worried about us until
Hey, but
this,
if you're not traveling, you should definitely troll Louisville.
Oh man, yo, hey, I don't think North Carolina's getting out of this playing game. I think
Who are they
SDSU is
playing?
going to take it to them. SDSU, San Diego State.
Oh no, yeah.
I don't see them getting out of that playing game.
Kentucky, there we go, 3 seed.
3 seed, yeah.
Got to go to Milwaukee. Ugh. Who was our 1 seed? Houston was our 1 seed. Troy.
Playing Troy. Golly, dude.
Let's go.
Troy.
Let's go.
Lord.
And then we got to play Illinois, Texas, and Xavier play in.
I take back what I said about you not making it out of the first weekend of the tournament. Y'all lose the dang Troy. You might as well just quit podcasting altogether.
Yeah.
It ain't no way. It ain't no way.
I know for a fact I'm cheering. So Texas got into the playing game. Tennessee's in at the 2 seed.
Yeah. Tennessee's at a 2. I think that makes sense too. Florida's a 1 seed, right? Am I missing this? I'm trying to scroll through this right now.
They haven't been announced yet, but they should be a 1, yeah.
Yeah, they should be a 1 in the final bracket. Yeah, if you're giving Tennessee a 2 seed, yeah.
Utah State beats UCLA in that 7-10 matchup. If I'm looking at that right now, and I had to make a prediction.
Say that again.
Utah State.
Yeah.
I think they win that 7-10 matchup against UCLA.
You want to take a Texas rematch for a trip to the Sweet 16, man? Nobody wants to play Texas. Nobody. You don't want to do that.
The only thing I would like about that would be this team needs that. They need like a reason to step up and play. So the fact that we lost to Texas and that was that was a bad loss, and
I get it, but at the same time, man, like I think SEC teams want to avoid SEC teams until the Elite Eight, at least. Like if at all possible. Y'all got too much familiarity with each other.
That's the downfall. Is like there's like these other teams don't have enough.
Yeah. You got too much familiarity with each other. Yeah, it's too much tape. It's just you don't want to do that.
Jacob, I agree that Lamont shuts down Trey Johnson, but he's got to make it. That's what makes me so nervous. He's got to make it to the damn game.
He's got to stay healthy. If he doesn't stay healthy,
I got my TP jersey right here. We don't even have Travis Perry to jump in. He's hurt his hand apparently, and he's out for the first couple of games of the tournament.
Yeah.
So we have a point guard 1, and then we have whoever wants to run down there.
Yeah. Yeah, friggin' shoot. And then at that, dude, gross. So I'm saying, looking at this bracket, man, this South region
your bracket,
rough.
your side.
This is rough, dude. You got Auburn, Michigan, who has been hot and cold, but still good. A&M, Ole Miss, Iowa State, Marquette, and Michigan State. Like, dang, that yo.
You'll have a fun time with that one.
That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible.
Now, Jacob, I think Utah State beats UCLA, and then that's probably we probably facing
You think
Tennessee in the
so?
Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if Lamont Butler is healthy, Final Four is a ceiling. He is that type of dude. He's been there, done that, but he just got to get there, man. He's got to get there.
He can't.
You
He
have a
cannot
dude.
miss time. Y'all have
He can.
that. Yeah.
When you
That's the
have a
same.
dude, because if Lamont Butler's healthy, he's on National Defensive Player of the Year
Yeah.
voting, right?
Also,
It's him and Zick. Go ahead. Go ahead.
can we talk about the fact that I think it's completely disrespectful that Chucky didn't even get a sniff to be on the Bob Cousy watch list? Like that was highly disrespectful. Highly, highly. Like
Yeah, I think
I'm
that.
not saying he should win it, but I'm saying like to not even have him on the list at all was wild to me. Like,
I think that for me, that's the same type of thing as like Amari Williams not getting a look at first team All SEC. Is like
yeah,
he was not in the top five in the SEC. So like your team has to win games. Chucky
yeah,
played great throughout the season, but didn't have a big signature win. So I think that kind of goes and plays with it. Um,
yeah,
but my take on Lamont Butler, like if he plays a whole season, it's him and Zakai Ziegler for Defensive Player of the Year for the SEC.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think what wins that, whether it's he outplayed him or it's Zakai Ziegler won it last year, so there's a little bit of fatigue there, similar to the Lamar Jackson losing it this year, the MVP, right? Like his numbers were better, but he just won it
it's
last year. There's a little bit of fatigue there.
yeah, the fatigue or
But the
whatever
fact that
bullshit
yeah,
you wanna throw in there about that. Yeah, that whatever nonsense we want to talk about with that. We get on that soapbox all day, but yeah, and I feel you.
at
But
the end
these,
of the day, they found a way for him not to win it, right? Like they found a
yeah,
way for him to be like first team All Pro,
yeah,
but not win MVP. So
yeah,
but like Lamont Botman just missed too many games. But he
yeah,
has the ability to be tournament MVP or tournament
yeah,
player of the tournament, whatever the hell they call that thing now.
yeah.
But like
Yeah,
he just got to stay healthy.
I'm looking at your bracket, and
And sweet,
yeah, yeah,
it's not
uh,
bad. Our side's
it's
not
not.
bad.
That's not a tough run in my opinion. Not that out of the three that I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, like it's always going to be tough to get past the Sweet 16, but like
Yeah, yeah. But if I'm looking at, like I said, if I'm looking at our bracket in the South, they did Auburn dirty. they, they did
good.
they did Auburn dirty. And then yeah, man, Jacob, I know it's like 12 years after this comment that you make, but yeah, I get what you're saying about having Wisconsin up there in Denver as a 3 seed and having their fans travel. Yeah, that's pretty rough for that side of the bracket. And then that dude, it's just that style of play that they have, which I know is different than obviously like the early 2000s where they were just straight up defensive. Like
Hey,
they were, what you
Oklahoma's
got?
going to bounce UConn in the first game. It's going to be
They
so
might.
great to see Dan Hurley just
Oh,
go
Dan
home.
Hurley's gonna. Oh my God, he's gonna be so sad. You
Bye,
said
bub.
Florida should have been the number one overall seed.
I thought so.
Uh,
No, Duke should have been number one overall.
uh
They won. Should have been Duke, Florida, and
yeah, I
then
think.
all Houston. However you want to rank that up is what I think.
I mean, I do. You get it. It's kind of like the recency bias thing, right? Like Auburn dominated all year long, and then they had their come to Jesus moment when after they beat y'all, and they had a little bit of karma come back to them, and now they're on
Yep.
that little bit of a slide. You want to do some weird stuff on the sideline, and not act like you've been there before because you haven't.
It
Uh,
happened. That's
and
right.
and that's just nonsense. You know, I they deserved it in my opinion, but I don't know. I guess you could make an argument for Florida as the number one overall seed. Yeah, you're right. I know. Yeah, I know, Jacob. That's what we are just talking about. But they have not played. They have not played well since that win at Kentucky. But I to say that Florida should be the number one overall seed. Nah, I don't know. You could have had a better argument. I honestly thought they were going to end up being the number one overall when they were on that hot streak about a midway through the season. And like I watched them play a couple games, like when they came into Rupp, and I was like, like these boys are playing, but and they're just like super athletic, a lot of team speed. They obviously can score. So
Yeah.
I guess you could be
I think they
that
are. I
that
think they are the best team in the country right now. But to have the
yeah
number
yeah
one overall seed, they don't have the
yeah.
I think the full season resume. Like,
I
I'd
would
have put
buy
Duke
that they
one overall,
yeah yeah. I would
and then
buy
I would
that
have
they
put
are
Florida
playing the best
two.
basketball. Yeah,
Yeah, right
they are
now.
playing their best basketball right now, and that is their best basketball is a top
Which honestly, this
program.
West region ain't looking bad if you're Florida right now.
Nah, no, it's not.
Oh, Kansas, Arkansas, 7-10 matchup in Rhode Island.
Who you want to win that one? You got to pick. You got to pick. Do you want Cal to win and put your
The
boy Dickerson back home, or you want
so
Dickerson to beat
yeah,
Cal?
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, I can't. Oh man, I mean, just the way the Arkansas fans been coming at us, like they just letting them get bounced in the first game. It's not even a Cal thing. It's just like the fan base just thinking that they've like are something special because Cal is their coach now.
yeah.
Um,
Jacob
but
Mizzou is
that
not
is a
getting
good thing
bounced
because
by Drake.
Bill Self and Cal have like had some battles, so they know each other. St. John's is a two. That's what I thought. St. John's is a two. Omaha.
Yeah. Yeah, Memphis fans are whiny as hell, and also
Yeah.
again, like Memphis is a 5 seed. Like dude,
So
I don't know, man. You can tell me that all you want, but Missouri's been playing SEC ball all year long, dude. Like,
yeah,
uh, it's not like one of these other, if you would have told me that, they're matched up against Clemson and they're going to take Clemson out, I'd be like, yeah, probably you're right because like we've been playing cupcakes all year long. Uh, but I don't know, man. I think the SEC is going to continue to do well. I think they're going to do the same thing that they did this season, which is they're going to tear each other up. You're going to get into these
yeah.
Sweet 16, Elite Eight games, and it's going to be a lot of SEC matchups. So I could be wrong.
Where
I don't
where
know.
is
Maybe that's
Drake?
a
Where
cold
is
take,
Drake?
but I don't know.
Where is Drake? The university? I don't even know.
Uh,
But so they got a kid who is supposed to hit the transfer portal that is projected, or at least people think is going to come to Kentucky. So like Kentucky fans like that team because of Drisk, I think his name is. Boy can ball. It's in Iowa, Des Moines. Drake
Des
is in
Moines,
Des
Des
Moines. I
Moines.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I did not know that at all. Yeah,
Yeah, but Missouri. I mean, that's. I bet the fan base probably shows up for that game. It's in Wichita,
yeah.
Kansas, but
I don't know if they get
so
bounced in the first
14, we did
round,
get
but
14 in, Alex. SEC did
yeah,
get 14.
yeah, they didn't. I thought UNC getting in was going to bounce Texas. I really did, but
Yeah.
I'll be
I mean, they're in the
interested to
playing
see who.
game, so they got an extra one to play, but at least they got a shot.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see who got snubbed because I can't really tell right now.
Indiana, Ohio State, Boise State, West Virginia are the first four out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, if I'm IU fans right now, I'm sick. I am sick. I'm sick that North Carolina made it in and that I did not.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's rough, dude. I'm telling you what, I'm looking at this. Yeah, looking at this West region, man, dude. St. John's is gonna. St. John's is dangerous, man. They
I
are
think you
friggin'
look at that
dangerous.
region and you can just that's going to be chalk, in my opinion. It's going to be 1-2 in the final four. It's going to be Florida
Yeah,
and St. John's. Like that. That
yeah,
seems like an easy to predict there.
yeah. I mean, yeah, Texas Tech could give it a run. I don't see. Yo, how about this? How about this for a storyline? Arkansas beats Kansas, right? Round two, you got Ricky P and John Calipari for a shot at the Sweet 16, and I hope Rick Pitino just takes belt
Where
to
he's going to wear his
ass.
ass out. Come on,
Oh my goodness,
it
dude!
won't even be close.
That would make I think both fan bases extremely happy. I would watch
There
that
you
game.
go. You just filled out my bracket for me. Arkansas is going to
Yeah,
beat Kansas, and then
and
it's going to
then
be just because there is zero people on that Arkansas
yeah,
team, zero players on
yeah.
that team that want any business of playing physical Rick
No,
Pitino
nope, nope.
basketball.
Give me the Johnnies by 30. Give me the
Yes.
Johnnies by 30. Oh my God, that would be a hell
Yeah.
of a storyline. That would be a hell of a storyline right there. That would be awesome.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
It's March
The
Madness. Yeah. If you're a Kansas
yeah,
fan, you just should look at that and go, "Well, we're gonna lose this game because
yeah,
there's no way they're not gonna have that
yep,
storyline."
yeah, yeah. That's yeah. The bracket makers knew what they were doing, throwing that in there. But
Yep.
dude, looking at first thoughts right now, I think Florida's got a pretty clean run until it gets to the regional final. I mean, I'm not scared. If I'm them, I'm not scared of UConn or Oklahoma. Honestly, like Oklahoma is they've been way too hot and cold.
Yeah.
I am not at all worried about Memphis or Maryland as a 4 and a 5 seed. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not. Because I think honestly, in my opinion, I think the Big Ten was a little overrated this year. Personally, that's just me. Uh, you get down to the bottom bracket, the like, uh, you think what? How about the Missouri Texas Tech in the second round? How do you see that one going? If they don't get bounced by
Uh.
Drake, which Jacob seems to think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That one's. I mean, I'd probably pick Missouri on that one. Um,
Yeah,
Texas Tech has had some big wins, but I don't think they're consistent enough.
yeah,
Um, and Missouri is just such a weird team to
yeah,
try to scout for because like they start four guards, like
yeah.
it's like all these.
The
It's just
small
a
lineup.
weird
Yeah,
deal. Yeah, it's a small
yeah,
lineup. Yeah, it's weird
yeah, yeah. That's a tough thing to prep for sure. But I think,
on
yeah,
a
man,
day's rest too. So
if y'all don't trip over your feet in the first 2 games, then you're looking at probably Tennessee to get to the regional final, and then yeah, man, I don't know. I honestly I think the Midwest is kind of chalk too. Really, like I don't know
does
much
it?
about.
Am I looking at this right? Where we got the Sweet 16 would be in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I think so. That'd be good for
Give
y'all.
me that
That'd be really good
all.
for y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give me that all day.
yeah, that'd be good for y'all for sure. But I mean, I don't see Houston getting knocked off by that 8-9 matchup. I mean, Georgia's dangerous. They're hit or miss.
They don't beat Houston though. I mean,
But I think, yeah, I don't think they beat them
they don't
neutral
have enough.
site is the thing. I don't think they beat them neutral site. They're not gonna have. It's not a
No.
home game.
Yeah, all of
Uh,
Georgia's wins have been at home. Big wins have been at home.
and then I've seen Clemson twice this year, and they are highly overrated. So that makes me want to puke looking at that 5 next to their name. To be honest with you. Uh, uh,
It might be a little leftover feeling about them getting to they got to the Final Four last year, right?
yeah, did they? They make it all the
Or
way to Final
Final
Four?
Four Elite Eight. They got. I mean,
They did
that
make a
might be a little
run.
bit of
Yeah,
like,
they
yeah,
did make a run, but at the same time, dude, like I don't know. I don't know. Uh, I don't make these brackets. I just disagree with them. Uh, EC man, I'm to Duke. Better hope that Cooper Flag is healthy in the East bracket, because you don't want to that especially with that you don't want to come off and play Mississippi State with a half strength team, because that's just tough to get to the Sweet 16.
yeah,
Oregon or Arizona, I think those are interesting matchups, honestly, for them to get to the regional final. Uh, I think I've watched Oregon play a little bit. I think Oregon's actually a pretty good team. Arizona's had some big wins, although they've been kind of up and down this year too. But I think they match up pretty well with Duke. I think Duke's kind of got a tough run getting out of there. BYU is a very streaky team. They could cause some problems as a 6 seed. Wisconsin's playing their best ball right now. Obviously, made that run through the Big Ten tournament, and then Bama come, dude.
yeah. I think
Bama
I
at
have
the bottom.
BYU getting to the Sweet 16
Yeah,
on this.
and
I don't know.
yeah,
Like that would be they'd play Bama in the Sweet 16. It looks like that. I think that would
yeah,
be a decent matchup.
yeah. Bama. Well, yeah. If I'm Duke and I'm looking at Bama as my 2 seed, I'm like, good Lord, why did you do that to me? like
Yeah,
how?
Duke and Auburn definitely got the toughest draws. Like, and
Oh,
honestly, like
dude,
we were talking about how like Auburn being the number one overall and Duke. If you're
yeah,
Florida and you're like whatever, like I'm not
yeah.
even concerned that I
I'm
didn't get
I
the number
yeah.
two. I like my draw better than being
I'm
the three.
dude. I am loving my draw right now. If I'm Florida,
Yeah,
loving it. I think that
and the
is
same if you're Houston. Like the same if you're
yeah,
Houston. Like the only thing that you look at um, you know, like Houston and Tennessee are so, it's like they're the way they play is very similar. They don't score the ball
yeah,
very well, but they defensively. So like if
yeah,
you can keep a team from dropping 85 or 80-85 on you, you're probably gonna get to the Final Four.
yeah. Yeah, I think Florida has the easiest run of it. I think Houston's probably a close second to that. Minus that it still be Tennessee. It depends on what version of him you get. You need Lanier to show up and score points, and when Lanier doesn't show up and score points, and then you got to try to lean on Zakai. Like he's just not that type of scorer.
Yeah.
Uh, but they can absolutely shut you down as well. Like if they put the clamps on you and they're getting turnovers and they're getting out running, it definitely can win you some ball games. But yeah, I think the bottom half of this bracket is definitely a much better look than the top half, especially for the one seeds. Man, like I just keep looking
So
back at this.
the committee's on TV right now, and if I heard them correctly, the Memphis UAB game was the deciding factor to put UNC in. So since Memphis won, UNC State, if UAB won, they would have been in. Memphis would have been in. North Carolina would have been out. Which I don't know how they get to that being the deciding factor. But I think that's what they just said.
So they're saying because if UAB would have stole that AQ spot, then they would have
Yep.
thrown Memphis as the last four in.
Yep.
I mean, I guess that makes sense, dude. But I just don't. I had to go back and look at Indiana's resume, honestly, to see what kind of wins because I know they've got a couple of like good top tier one wins in the Big Ten.
So I don't know who this dude is. Bubba Cunningham. I think he's on the committee that just popped up. See, he says he's the director of sports at North Carolina. What is going on? What is going on here?
What?
It's all coming together.
That's why we got an 8 seed. He's mad we beat the hell out of him earlier this year. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't stand it. So now he's just over here giving out seeds that make no sense to people.
Bubba got a call and say, hey, if we don't make the tournament, Caleb Wilson's walking. So you better figure it out. All right.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Let's see. I used 10 and 10 in the Big Ten. Let's see what these wins they got. Let's see. They got yikes. Maybe I take this back. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Yikes. Maybe I don't know what. Maybe I'm not mad. You know what? Whatever. They got wins. They got a win over Michigan State at Michigan State. That's a big one.
That's a big
Purdue.
win. Yeah.
They beat Purdue at home. But they also lost at one point. Let's see, 7 of 8, and had several opportunities. They got blown out by Illinois at home. They got blown out at Purdue. Not blown out. Sorry, that was a 5-point game. They got beat by 12 at Wisconsin, and then they lost to Michigan. They Michigan by 3 at home, and then they beat Michigan State the following game. But dude, like they had opportunities. They also lost.
So Purdue and Michigan State was their two like big quad one wins.
Yeah, and those were late in the season too. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else. Yeah, nope. But I mean, let me just pull up. I'm about to do this so I can be as unbiased as possible. I'm gonna pull up North Carolina's resume here because we're just gonna look at them beating daggum Georgia Tech and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were no good losses in the ACC this year unless you were losing to us, to Clemson, or to Duke. If you were not losing to a top 3 team in that conference, there was not a good loss on the board. Let's see here. So North Carolina 13-7 in the conference. So
So
Yeah,
conference
got
record is
lot,
better, but different conference.
but
So
different conference. I would argue probably Big Ten's probably got a little. While I will say I think they were a little overrated, I think they still probably as a whole are better than the ACC this year, objectively.
yeah,
Lost to KU early on, lost to Auburn, lost to Alabama, lost to Florida. They got a win against UCLA, lost to us, and then back-to-back losses to Stanford and Wake, and then back-to-back losses to Pitt and Duke, and then they win one game in the tournament. And somehow, some way, they are in the NCAA tournament. You cannot, you
we're
can,
gonna see how good. But I mean, like they gotta win to get in. So we'll see if they do.
dude. But they outside of
Also,
RJ
Kobe
Davis,
Bryant and
they
Clara
don't.
Stracker are on my TV right now. The Kentucky Effect is different. National televised commercial.
Oh,
Ain't no dirty birds on my
oh
TV. Some
my
shit
good
birds are
lord!
bald.
Oh
No,
my good! Oh
Kentucky
my
is
good
different.
lord! Oh my god! Yeah,
Tell
when's
me
the
I'm lying.
when? You whatever, bro. we
Yeah,
we ain't
you
worried
can
about.
say you've
We
been
ain't worried
bounced from the
about.
tournament. Blah
We
blah blah.
ain't
You're
worried about.
still.
We ain't worried about making commercials. We're worried about winning basketball games. So that's fine.
That's a good point.
Y'all make
Yeah,
commercials
that's a
all you
good
want.
point.
We ain't worried about making commercials. We just
Yeah.
out here trying to win. It's been a long 3 years. Finally back in. Man, hopefully we can get
In
to
all
the
seriousness,
weekend.
I was on that Power 10 space last night talking. I jumped on
Yeah,
there after the win. They were talking
yeah,
Louisville ball, and I was very objective. It was like, hey, what Pat Kelsey has done in his first year back there, he got you to the tournament year one. Like, yeah,
man.
the ACC sucked, but who cares? You play who you put in front of you. You win the
Yep.
games, you get in the tournament, and it don't matter. Now you got to prove that an 8 seed was trash because now you got to have a really tough way to get
Yeah.
deep into the tournament. You got to
Which
prove that
yeah,
it was a mess up.
yeah. Which I mean,
But
at
yeah,
the end of the day, if you want to win a national championship, you want to make it deep in the tournament, you
you
got to
got to
beat
be
these teams. You got to beat them. Like
yeah.
you're not gonna have a cakewalk through here. Everybody in here, for the most part, is gonna give you issues, and you got to prove that you belong. So we
Yeah.
do get that shot. We get
What
that
was it?
shot,
Was it
right out of the gate.
2014 when we were an 8 seed? Got to the championship, played UConn. I think we were an 8 seed that year.
I think it was 20. It was because we won it in
It was
2013. I think it was the year
yeah,
after
yeah. It
that.
was 14 because we were in we were in Quantico. We were at Patty's watching those games.
Yeah.
That was the Harrison trip, the three threes in all those games. But
that dude was
hey,
unbelievably clutch, like unbelievably clutch.
yeah. And we had to play UConn and just shit
Yeah.
down our leg last like 4 minutes. But
shit down my leg.
yeah.
All right, man. Real assessment here. What do you think? Let's say you got Lamont, right? You stick into you're thinking Final Four.
We got. You're saying I
Realistically,
got a healthy Lamont the whole
you got
tournament.
the whole tournament. Lamont's shoulder holds up.
Okay. So I'm looking at we got we're gonna beat Troy.
Yeah.
And after that we have either Texas, Xavier, or Illinois. We get to the Sweet 16, probably playing Tennessee. That makes me nervous because you got to beat the same team 3 times. Now
Which is
Alabama
hard to do.
Can do it.
Yep.
But again, we weren't fully healthy. So and you saw what happened to Alabama. They lost Nelson in that game and they got popped by Florida. So not having players is a key piece of winning a ball game.
Yeah.
That being said, there is zero chance especially on this podcast, this show, that I'm picking Kentucky to lose to Tennessee. So I'm saying our floor is Elite 8.
Okay.
Elite 8.
I'll buy that with a healthy team. I'll buy that with this bracket, with your draw that you got. I'll buy that.
Elite 8. Which if this team gets to Elite 8, Kentucky fans should praise Mark Pope.
Yeah. And all bets
even if that's where we end.
Man.
Yeah, I agree. Like you get there, you win. Anybody can win those games. But even if we get to Elite 8 and all the hype is built up, like it has been all year, and we lose that game, no matter how we lose it, like there should be Kentucky fans in Lexington when they fly in to praise Pope and this team for what they did.
Yeah, man, golly, dude, this bracket is just rough. Looking at this, I'm a fan Oh, they're putting out the spreads already. We got Louisville's favored
Oh,
by a
really?
point and a half. Louisville by a point and a half, man. Phew, all right, okay. Basically saying it's a pick 'em there. They're
Yep.
popping up on the bracket as I'm looking at it.
That's wild because it's in Lexington. It's literally 90
Dude.
minutes from Young.
Brother, I don't know, man.
Everybody in the world except for Cardinals fans is letting y'all know
The
that you suck as a basketball program.
The disrespect is wild. It is wild right now.
Yep.
Like, oh, well, it just moved though. It literally moved up to 2.5 points at 30 seconds after they dropped the line.
They remembered. They remembered. Oh, damn! It's only like a 90-minute trip.
Yeah. So, dude, I don't know. I think ceiling wise, if I'm making an honest assessment based off of what I'm looking at here, dude, I think ceiling, if we have everybody healthy and we play the way that we played for that stretch and we, just lose this North Carolina or the Duke game, from our brain and go back to playing the style of ball we were playing. I think ceiling, I don't think see us making anywhere past the Elite Eight. Ceiling. Floor could be second game of the tournament. I don't see us losing. I don't see us losing to Creighton. I'm sorry. Like while it's sure you want to call it an 8-9 seed, you want to disrespect us, whatever. I think the boys are going to take that personally. I really do. I think the boys are going to take it personally. I think it's going to be clipboard material. It's going to be whiteboard material all week long. Really, the key though is if Rain's healthy, because if Rain's not healthy, that's tough, dude. So I think if he's healthy though, man, I'd love to beat Auburn, but I don't know, man. We haven't, it's like I was saying at the beginning of the year when we were winning all these games in a row, and it was kind of like
Sorry to interrupt you. Clark on CBS just put Clemson in the Final Four. Nope. He actually put them in the championship game against Florida. What in the world is this man thinking? All right, go ahead. But yeah, that's
what.
I don't know.
What is this man talking about? Are they frying him? Please tell me they're frying him right now.
They were laughing, but they're not. They're being nice.
Clemson.
The next is Michigan State, Florida, Duke, Houston. That's twice in a row now. They got now Jay has Auburn, St. John's, Duke, Houston. I think that's probably a good
St. John's,
Final Four.
Duke, Houston. That's a decent one right there. Yeah.
They had so that means St. John's beats Florida, and they have Auburn win the championship. So throw that away. There's no way they win the championship. Nope.
I think I'm telling you, it may just be me freaking, glazing Rick Pitino, but this is the best team that he has coached since he has been out of
since he left Louisville.
It's easily, I think, hands down. I don't think it's close. Like, they play his style of basketball very well, and that is dangerous come tournament time, man. Like, we've both seen it. We've both seen it from both sides of the aisle. Like, that man is a problem when you get him into the tournament with a team that's hot. He could just coach his ass off. So yeah, if I'm Florida, I'm pretty upset about that. But at the same time, I think they got a pretty decent run just to get to the regional final. At that point, you got to take care of business because you got to beat the best teams to be the best team. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man. And they interviewed him today before the bracket reveal, and they asked about his tournament success and whatnot. And he's like, well, I got 34 games on film. So the only way I can be successful in a tournament is if I throw something at them that wasn't in those 34 games, right?
Yeah.
And you think that would be the approach of most coaches, but I can tell you from watching Kentucky play over at least the last 5 years, that wasn't the approach we go into the tournament because they knew exactly what we were going to do. We did the exact same thing.
That was the thing that Rick was best at, man, was the wrinkles. Like the small, like you knew they were going to come out and play hard defensively, but there was always a little bit of a wrinkle that he had every time when he went out there. Man,
and Pope has openly said that. Like, I have things in the offense that we're going to do that you have not seen yet.
You know what's crazy? The 5-12 matchup, Michigan, UC San Diego. They are only favoring Michigan by 3.5 points. I know UC San Diego's had a good season. I think they're like a 30-win team, but like 3.5 points from dude.
And
That's
they just won and Michigan just won their conference championship game today.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
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 I
yeah.
don't know.
Beat Wisconsin, who you got as a 3 seed. Like
Well,
that's
Jay on CBS was just talking about. He said he was picking High Point to get to the Sweet 16, which means he's picking them to beat Purdue.
High Point,
HPU. Yeah, I
brother.
just heard the man say it like 5 minutes ago.
The 13 seed to beat Purdue and then beat Clemson. Okay, okay,
I mean,
brother.
I mean,
What?
we have seen Purdue not
Hey, look,
beat. I mean, they were the 1 seed
you're
and
right.
got beat. But
Yeah, that is
and
true.
there's and
That
Zach
is true.
Edey is not walking back into that building. But
No, he is
that
not.
Braden kid is pretty filthy. So
Let's see.
hopefully maybe the guard play steps up.
Biggest point spreads I'm seeing so far. They haven't even put a line on the Auburn game. Yeah,
Is there one on
uh,
Kentucky, Troy?
not yet.
No.
No, no. They got. Let's see. They got KU. They got KU by 5.5 against Arkansas.
Really?
Yeah, they got Gonzaga by 5.5 over Georgia. Let's see what else we got. BYU only 3.5 against VCU. I. Mm.
I think I'd take that on the BYU side.
Oh yeah, I'm taking that all day. BYU
Yeah.
as well as they can score the basketball. They're a problem, dude. That's a team that is a scary 6 seed to me, honestly, because if they get hot, like they can put the ball in the hoop.
I don't know Richie Saunders' wife at all, and I'm sure she's a lovely woman. But the fact that he couldn't come to Lexington because she said she wanted to stay in Provo,
yeah,
so disappointing. Because
yeah.
that dude rocking a headband in Lexington would have been an absolute problem. And we need another score right there with all these injuries.
Yeah.
That kid's a bucket.
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of slowly rolling these things out. I'm not really seeing a lot of updates right now. No, still nothing on the Kentucky game.
No. What's
Yeah.
It is funny that Tennessee and Louisville both get to play in Lexington. That's a
Yeah.
funny little wrinkle.
Yeah.
But so, what's your final four before we end this thing?
Ooh.
What's the final four?
Ooh, dude. All right. Out of the South region, our bracket, let's see. I gotta go with. I think I gotta go with Auburn, man. I think Auburn will make it through there. It is a tough bracket to make it through, but I think Auburn makes it through.
Yeah.
In the East, dude, I'll tell you what, my gut is kind of telling me Bama, to be honest with you. Like as much now, my gut tells me Bama. My brain kind of tells me Duke though, because I just think I think Cooper Flag's going to have a ridiculous tournament. So give me the chalk. Give me Duke out of the East. But I think it's going to be Duke and Bama in the Elite Eight, and I think that will be a great game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very good game.
Yeah.
If you get a fully healthy Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Curious to see what Grant Nelson. They said it wasn't an ACL, but it was a knee injury. I don't know how long he's out, but that Grant Nelson Cooper Flag would be a good matchup because Nelson's not as talented, but he's got more experience than Cooper Flag, obviously. But
in the I'm gonna save the East for last because that's your alls, or the Midwest for last because that's your alls.
Yeah.
In the West, dude, I'll be honest. Give me Ricky P, man. Give me St. John's.
That's what I'm struggling with because you're picking him to beat Florida. Then
it is, and that's tough, man. That is tough. I'll give you that. But like again, I think it's gonna be very chalk in a lot of these brackets. I think when you get to the Elite Eight, I think it's gonna be a lot of 1 and 2s.
Okay, so here's a question for you. Rick Pitino had Mark Clayton Jr. play for him at Iona. If that is an Elite Eight matchup, does Ricky P know how to stop Mark Clayton, or does Mark Clayton know how to work Ricky P's system.
Rick's a great coach, man. I think
Yeah.
I think even without coaching the guy, he just defensively, man, there is not another defensive mind in the game of college basketball like Rick Pitino. But they're just not. And if you get that, couple that with some hot shooting, man, like this team is gonna be a problem. So I think now, like, am I gonna say he's gonna completely shut down Mark Clayton? Like, no, I don't think so. The dude
Yeah,
just
can't shut him down.
he's too good. You just got to limit him, right? Like you can't let him go off
Yeah.
for 30 points. You just got to limit him best you can and force the ball into other people's hands. But I think, dude, again, like it's kind of tough, honestly, to pick the Final Four because, like I said, I don't really see anybody threatening Auburn coming out of there. Yeah, I don't see a lot of stumble games for them. Duke's kind of tough because Bama's a very good team. And I think, again, like I said, in that Sweet 16 game there, Oregon and Arizona would also be kind of an interesting matchup for me against them too. But I think they get through there. But I do expect to see Duke and Bama in the Elite Eight. I do expect to see Florida and St. John's in the Elite Eight. And dude, I just think, I don't know, man, it's something about Rick and March, dude. Like I think he gets another team to the Final Four. Just further cementing in my mind that he is one of it. Like he's obviously one of the best, dude. I think he might, you get another team to the Final Four, you might be putting yourself up there as best coach of all time. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
take out John Wooden. Like he's kind of
Yeah.
like on a league of his own. He's the statue,
Yeah.
right? He's the Jerry
And
West. He's
let's preface
take
that
him out.
modern
Yeah,
era
modern era.
of
Yeah,
college
but you got
basketball.
Ricky P, you got Izzo,
Krzyzewski.
and you got Coach K. Like I think
Yeah.
those are like your mountaintop, right?
Those are your guys. Yeah. Yeah.
Those are your dudes. Now maybe you put in Roy Williams, his time in North Carolina and coming up.
Yeah.
Those three, I think you can easily say, or rank them how you want to, but they're your top three, and then fill out the rest of the top five however you want to. But so you had Auburn, you had St. John's,
Auburn, St. John's, Duke, and then sheesh, man, in the Midwest. I'm gonna tell you what. I think y'all get to the Sweet 16. I think you meet Tennessee there. I think you beat Tennessee if you're healthy. If you're healthy, I think you beat Tennessee. So that puts you in there, and I think Houston gets there, and it's y'all in Houston.
I don't like it. I do not like the Houston game.
Dude, that's tough. I think I'm gonna have to, UH. So I got 3 1 seeds and a 2 seed, which seems a little chalky. So that's probably going to be wrong. It's probably not.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna get blown up, but I mean, it makes sense. So I think it's Michigan State comes out of the South.
Okay, I like that.
It's gonna be Florida, and I think the offensive firepower helps them get past Rick Pitino. There's two like Condon is maybe Rick Pitino can out physical Condon, just make him feel uncomfortable. That dude is different.
Florida's very good, man.
Man, I'm looking for a team who I think is going to upset Duke in the East region.
I think the only one that's got a chance is Alabama, dude. I really do. I like I said, I think Arizona maybe presents them with a problem in the Sweet 16, maybe. But dude, just with a healthy Cooper Flagg, like that kid is ridiculous, man. Like,
yeah, well, it's Cooper Flagg. The number 9, I think you say his name, Malawach. I think it's how you say his
name. Yeah. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy, and he can ball. And the reason why we won the Kentucky game was, one, he started getting a little bit hurt, and he got in foul trouble. Like, if he plays the whole game, we don't win. Like, we don't close out the game and come back. But
there with Flagg, Malawach, and I forget the other big man's name that they have. That like
the freshman kid.
Yeah, the freshman kid.
Yeah, he looked real nice.
He is a problem on the offensive side of the ball. He's a big physical player. And then, dude, you add in Knuppel, who can give you 20 plus on any given night, and then Proctor, dude. If that's the X factor for me, if Proctor plays like he played yesterday, and you add in all of those other pieces, dude, they're going to be a big problem. A big problem.
Yep.
Because he
Yep.
killed
Yeah.
us single-handedly. Single-handedly, he killed us last night.
Yeah. Dude's good. The dude's real good.
Yeah. So you got,
And even got that Zion James kid who transferred from Tulane. Like
yeah,
he is, he's averaging 8 points a game or something like that. They said last night, but
yeah,
he's a big old boy, man.
yeah,
That's a big basketball player.
yeah. They got a
Looking,
lot of
he's
size, dude.
a 6'6",
But yeah,
220 as a guard. Like, good grief.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's tough. I don't even know that I like Alabama to get. Um, I don't know.
What
Yeah, they
past
probably get to
what
the Final
past
Four.
Wisconsin?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that's gonna be a tough game, but maybe they probably do end up getting that one. So yeah, so I'll go
yeah,
back. So I got Michigan State, Florida, Duke, and Houston. I think that would be my Final Four. So super
yeah. I
super
think that's a
chalk.
good one
But
too.
the
Yeah,
way this lines up, it's gonna have to something weird's gonna have to happen. Um,
yeah.
yeah, there's going to be the NC State of last year who sucked all year until the conference tournament, and they go on a run. Something like that is going to happen.
What was that big boy's name that they had, man? God dang, the dude the you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
friggin'
yeah,
round mound of rebound they had out there. It was just absolutely
yeah.
balling. It couldn't jump high enough to put a friggin' piece of paper underneath his feet in the floor, but
No,
was just in there just bullying dudes on the inside. Right. Oh man, that
well,
was
it
fun
was
to
like
watch.
yeah, it was, and so was old boy from Indiana State,
Yeah,
the dude that was Nikola Jokovic light, out in
yeah,
State, a
yeah,
big old
yeah,
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 you walk past him, you're like, this is not an athlete. He's out there just
yeah.
hooping, but
Just out there, just crushing. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I
no,
think those are, I think those, like I said, I think it's tricky. I think the Florida's bracket is tough to pick when you come to that Elite Eight game specifically. But like I said, I expect St. John's to be there, and I expect Florida to be there, and then it's who knows, man. Like who knows from that point. I do. I'm telling you though, y'all gotta. As much as I hate to say it, y'all's bracket is not terrible
the path is
to
there.
try and get
The path
through.
is
It's
there.
there. It really is.
And
Uh,
I hate saying that though, because like last year, if you look, not only was the bracket a good side of the bracket for us, but the way it
yeah.
played out with like would have having to play NC State to go to the Sweet 16, like it was all
Yep.
there for us, but we couldn't get past the first game. So and
Yeah.
this should be a game
Oh,
where I know we don't have Travis Perry as a backup point guard, but like
yeah.
you talk about keeping Lamont healthy, we should
Yeah.
be beat Troy by 20, and he only have to play 20 minutes in that game, right? Like this
11.
shouldn't that don't even play with these boys. Like put
Mhm.
them away early and
You
give
got
them
to put
some
the
rest.
yeah. You got to put the foot on the
Gotta put
gas.
it away early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just come out, smack them around, make them feel like, hey, we are a 14 seed. We got no shot at playing with the
Yeah.
Wildcats, and
Yeah.
by halftime they already felt like they lost. But if they let
11
them
and a
stick
half
around and play,
is what
man,
you're giving up
11
11
and
and
a
a
half,
half. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I would take that. I would take that line all day. I would take
And there
I would
cannot
take
be.
yeah.
Yeah, Adam, buddy, I'm nervous too, man. But we got a good draw. But yeah, it's like, and what I will say, this team has to be done with showing up and not like playing down to their
The first
opponents because we
half. Yeah, especially in the first half.
yeah
Y'all gotta
get
get
out
some
of
y'all gotta
stopping
get
it.
off to some better starts. And we got
Yep.
the exact opposite problem. We come out hot. It's been a pattern for us probably for like the last month. We get out extremely hot, build some early leads, and then for whatever reason, get to that 10-minute mark in the second half and just want to let the foot off the gas. Like you gotta crush people, especially when it comes tournament time, because weird shit happens when you let people hang around. You can't.
Exactly. All that analytical nonsense about managing and manipulating minutes, stop it. Effing
Yeah,
stop it, Paul.
yeah,
Put a foot on
yeah,
a neck and just hammer them
yeah,
down. Like
yeah.
you can
Now,
gain minutes back late in the game when they've given up, but don't let them
yeah,
play around and pull dudes, in the
yeah.
first 4 minutes that don't need to be pulled.
Yeah, Adam, we were talking about that matchup earlier, man. We were talking about how we think it's going to be Cal and Ricky P in the second round, and I just hope Rick Pitino absolutely dogs
Gonna
Arkansas
put them
by
in a
30
vice.
points. I hope
Yeah.
Arkansas. I hope he just shuts them down. They score 35 points in the daggum game, and they just get blown out. That would make me so happy, So happy to see.
There's just like Big Z is one of their great scorers. He can't play. He's not gonna be able to play in that game. Zero chance he's gonna be able to play physical against Rick Pitino's team.
No.
Boogie Flant's coming back. Apparently, like how well does he play in his first game back? DJ, I think, is a physical guy, but he's not. He's more of a St. John's type player, where just be physical, play defense, and don't expect a lot of points from you. And so it's can John L. Davis. I don't think Adu's coming back. So it's like they don't. If they get through the first round and beat Creighton, they'll be embarrassed against Rick Pitino. And hopefully, I'm not coming back on here talking that it's a bad take, but I just don't see it. I do not see them walking out of that arena with the win.
I don't either. I do not either. They.
And there's going to be some old heads. I hope there's going to be some old heads who aren't traveling who might go watch that game and cheer for Rick Pitino.
Yeah, 1,000%. We love Ricky P around here.
Yep.
Oh man.
But
all right. Yeah, bro. I gotta hop off here.
There, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 12:15. I gotta get up, go to work tomorrow. So yeah.
Yeah, buddy. All right, man. Well, be safe. Enjoy Germany. Send me some photos and and hope you all lose in the first game.
Yeah, same to you, buddy. Same to you.
As always, go Cats.
Right. Hey, hell's up, baby.
Yeah, all right, man. Y'all appreciate you joining us. We out.
Yep. See